Good morning, Studio Diary. Back in the studio after the Wydale songwriting retreat. And I thought today I'd just do a quick run through because I've got to record the song that I wrote at Wydale last week. I've got to record a basic demo to upload onto the 12-Song Challenge Song Club. So what I thought I'd do is do a little bit of a demo about how I pull together a very basic recording. Now I've got some setups working here in the studio, a couple of cameras running so you can see what's going on. This arrangement is just going to be voice and acoustic guitar, although I'm going to do multiple voices so that we can see the various parts. So without further ado, I've got here running in my studio, I've got here a digital audio workstation or a DAW called Studio One, and set up, and we can see this on the other camera just over here. I've got set up here, I've got a pair of mics. See this here, I've got a Rode NT1 and I've got a Shure SM57. This is a condenser mic, this is a dynamic mic, and I found that as I record acoustic guitar, this is what it works for me. And I'll show you in a minute how this actually fits together. And I'm not quite on screen there. So what we've got in my DAW, I've got two channels set up over here, and I'm just check my inputs. Guitar comes across. First thing on the inputs, just checking that I'm not maxing out any levels. Just when I did my clap earlier to get things working, I had some max levels, but all looking good. I've set my inputs right. We can get rid of those, and we can then go back into these setups for my two channels, which you can see are ready to record. Before we get recording, one very, very important thing, hot tip, doesn't really matter what you're doing, even if it's a demo. I've got a tuner set up on my workstation here. Before every take, I'll just give myself a quick check on the tuning. There's nothing worse than getting a really nice take and then finding your acoustic guitar or other instrument is out of tune. So we're going to start recording it. I'm going to have my headphones on, and the other top tip is that I've got a click running here. I've worked out what the tempo is already. I always record to a click, and this is because it just helps me keep in time, makes it sound smoother, and if I'm ever wanting to correct back a little bit of playing back into the time, I know what the grid is to put it back onto it, as well as being able to overlay drum loops and things onto it afterwards, which of course are precisely on a grid. Okay, so now we've got that recorded, a couple of minor little mistakes in there. You couldn't see much going through there on the screen because I had to zoom out. Guitar's kind of recorded. Yeah, there's little bits of mistakes to do, but I'm not going to re-record the whole thing, so I'm trying to get through quickly. If I've got mistakes, I can take little sections, copy, paste around. So we'll see in a minute. We'll work that one through. I just wanted to mention that also, reason why I've got two mics here, because I actually record one take, but then I'm going to pan it. This one over to one side, this mic over to the other side, and then you get a nice spread. And it means when you get a sort of image in your head or in your ears, you can put the vocal right down the middle and everything's really clear to hear. So even if I'm recording a demo recording, I'll still have both mics set up. They sit here so permanently in my studio plugged in. So we want to put some vocals onto it now. In terms of mics for singing, I also have a permanent mic set up for singing. This is a Shure SM7B. Very nice mic. It's warm. You see a lot of people on podcasts using this kind of mic. It's a very forgiving mic in one sense. You can sing, in and around it. It's a little less sensitive than maybe a SM57 from a point of dynamic. But really, any mic will do. Any mic will do. I just happen to have this one set up permanently here. So the other point I'm going to remember to do is to take off, as you see on screen, take off the arming to record the acoustic guitar. Otherwise, I'm going to record over that when I record the vocals. I'm going to swiftly move across to the vocal channel over here, arm the vocal channel. I've got a little bit of reverb on my voice, just so I can hear myself as I'm singing. I don't want any other effects on it. And I'm then kind of ready to rock. I've got the click still working so I can hear, and I'm going to just let it roll, and I'm going to sing over it. Probably ought to mention also that I've hopefully warmed my voice up before we start here. I'm doing a demo, so it's not quite so crucial. We're going to sing. We are the people of God. So we've recorded that vocal. I made a couple of small little mistakes in there. I think there's one little one to overdub. But it just gives an idea about how it's going to go. But I want to add a bit of doubling up in the way that the start work. So I'm going to duplicate my vocal track. Duplicate my vocal. Just going to record another vocal. We are the people of God. That's right, I realised when I've done this, I haven't sung the intro long enough to get everything in. And before I start cutting up the acoustic guitar, I need to actually just level match 8-bar section, and then we're going to go into this point here, and we're going to insert some silence. I need to add 8 to 27, which the math will tell me is 37. Yep, so we'll start recording from there. May his kingdom come, may his kingdom come, may his kingdom come, may his kingdom come. Okay, so we've got that one working in there. We can then put a harmony on the second one. May his kingdom come, may his kingdom come, may his kingdom come, may his kingdom come. We've got that working in there. We're being a bit quicker in terms of the way that things will roll through than the way I want to sing it if I was doing it live, but we're trying to demonstrate the song as it works. Basically recorded what we want in there. We know we've got the verses in, and what I actually had on the verses, I realized I didn't play the acoustic guitar long enough to sing all the verses first time around. So excellent, we've got 6 verses on here because I want some variety. So we know in here on this guitar that we have start strumming at some point. Just work on where the start point is. Yeah, so that's a chorus. So I find it very helpful on these things to actually just drop markers in for where things are. I can label them up afterwards. I'm going to put CH in here for the chorus. That's going to be a verse. Verse in there. And that's a verse. It seems a little over the top for a demo recording, but if I'm navigating around on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it just helps because I'm going to need to insert a bit in a minute. We want to record the one we were missing. All who are older, we learn from your wisdom. So now a few hours on from that initial recording session, on the screen here you see I've got a much fuller arrangement. I've added some other instruments. I've added on here some bass. I've added some electronic drums. I've added some more extra vocals, and I've added some electric guitar as well in there a little bit further in. So here in a minute. One thing I want to mention is this is still a demo, so the audio is still not fully mixed, but I did get creative with many more tracks in the audio. You can see there in the section a lot more backing vocals, and I've got a tool in my workstation which allows me to change what I recorded into a sort of AI type different voicing, male and female. So it sounds a little bit artificial, but it gives an idea in demo how the parts would work together if we've got multiple people. So let's just give that a quick spin at the beginning and then we'll see how we go. So if I go from the beginning here and hit play, a little bit of pad behind it, give it a bit of atmosphere like if you were doing on a worship session. That's actually the first one you heard me record earlier. That's the second one, but I've rephrased it into a female range. We've got the bass coming in there. You can see the bass at the bottom of the screen there. And then when it really gets going, you get multiple parts recorded. And then we've got verses coming in. Play drums from the, let's get it up that side, play drums on the kit, drop these in there. You get the idea. So this is I'll stop that. You get a full idea of the demo and the way it works its way through and how I began to put this through. So having got the initial idea, having written the song, but I then want to experiment with how different vocal parts are over the top and how it would develop as a band arrangement. So I play the instruments as if I was the band. And I've got something I can now share on the 12 Song Challenge Song Club. I probably would do a little bit more tweaking and polishing and re-recording if I'm actually going to release it more publicly. But the aim with this goal is to get to a demo version that shows the potential of the song, so it can be critiqued and used potentially. Right, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next Studio Diary.